Okay, we are in the grade 9 lessons, and I said that one lesson for one day is our plan as we are late. And under this lesson, what we are going to discuss is movement of organisms, including movements of plants and movements of animals. We have already discussed under locomotion. Uh, why is called locomotion? Because they are changing the location, or basically geographically they are moving from one place to another place. But some organisms cannot do such advanced movements, but still it can show some kind of response to the external triggers coming from the outside world. It can be sunlight, it can be maybe a touch, it can be sunlight, or it can be some other aspects such as mm, maybe for nutrition. It does this, or even sometimes to protect from enemies, and sometimes for adaptation. The plants and animals are showing these movements. Okay, the living organism change location of whole body or the part of body response to stimulus that I said, that is called movement. And if it is basically animals, they are moving from one location to another location, we call it locomotion. Okay, so you can see these are some examples that they have given. So amoeba, euglena, paramecium, earthworm, they have taken the entire domain of living things. These are microorganisms, but still they are showing some movements. And also annelida and mollusca, then mammals, including us, arthropodians, all are showing some kind of motion. But type to type, or even animal to animal, plant to plant, these movements are totally different, right? It can be different, but there are some similarities as well. Okay, so observe the movements of given animals in video clips. I'm not going to show you the video clips because let's apply a STEAM method here. Amoeba, euglena, paramecium, how they show movement, especially when they are in this, when they want to reproduce, and when they want to um, get meals, nutrition, reproduction, they will do movements, right? There are videos, and you can also make a video. Did I explain you how to make a simple microscope in your previous grade?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So using that CD head, DVD head,
No, sir.
not using DVD head, right? Okay.
Yes,
So by using two lenses, I guess.
yes, sir.
Okay. So if you want to see amoeba, euglena, paramecium, and all, there is another way. You can, if you can find old CD or DVD, basically a DVD. Okay, here. I will share this old DVD laser head. There is something called laser head. You can use that to make a microscope. Okay, there is a laser head or laser light. When you like, this can be easy here. Here you can see this. This can be easily found in a DVD player, right? In a DVD player, you can easily get this. You have to remove this part, only this part, right? You don't need any advanced mechanism, only this part, and then you can create a very simple microscope using this single lens. But that is very powerful. You can even see microorganisms, right? You can even see microorganisms using this. This is called DIY, or do-it-yourself microscope. This is a microscope DIY project. You can do this even for exhibitions in your school. Here, this is from Blu-ray player. If it is Blu-ray player, it will be very, so they are using brand new Blu-ray player, but don't do this because it is expensive. You can use used Blu-ray player. and no need to use Blu-ray player even, but this even normal DVD is DVD head is sufficient to create this, and you can scan micro organisms using that. The Blu-ray one, I think, even let's say Blu-ray one is more powerful, I guess. Should be, right? Observe, say, microorganisms. DVD is 200 rupees, like DVD play, old DVD player, broken DVD players, 200 rupees, 100 rupees. You can buy from a old stuff shop. So that's why I'm suggesting that that's not costly. But you create, because rather you can, I know you can have a microscope easily, but the thing is you try to, here you can see, right, you can have a microscope easily, but the thing is, when you create that feel you cannot get, right? That's the DIY thing. When you really do that by yourself, you cannot get that feeling by having a microscope at home. That's why I'm suggesting you to create that. And you can observe microorganisms. It's very, very easy. Very easy, right? Very easy process. And you can see a lot of microorganisms is in there. And then if you can observe, I know that if you have time, do that. So only problem for nowadays kids, they are very busy more than the parents. That's the problem. Otherwise, I think you could have done this easily. Anyway, let's move to the chapter again. And this is what you need to do is you in order to observe my amoeba, euglena, paramecium, you need a microscope. But earthworms, snail, leeches, you can easily observe them. Cobra, don't try to observe much. You can just watch a video. But toads and frogs, yes, you know, toads and frogs are two. This is a toad. Frog also you can see. And then the birds, cheetah again is very difficult. You have to watch a video. So movements of different animals, right? So just try to see what are the appendages used for the movement, locomotion. Amoeba. Amoeba, we are using false feet. අපි කියන ව්‍යාජ පාදයක නේද? ඇත්ත කකුල් නෑ. ඉතින් ආ කකුල් වගේ යාගේ බොඩි එක මේ බොඩි එක යාගේ ෆ්ලෙක්සිබල්, මුළු බොඩි එකම යාට ෆ්ලෙක්සිබල්. එයා කකුල් වගේ හදාගෙන ඒක තමයි පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ මේ මූවමන්ට් වලට, locomotion වලට. So likewise try to list down all these what are the appendages used by animals for movements. Try to get this feel. Okay, then right, you can see amoeba uses pseudopodia for locomotion, while euglena uses flagella. Flagella is something like in their body part there's a small, it's like a small in cockroaches and all, you can see some kind of thing, but it's not same. It looks like here, see the flagella. It looks like okay, here you can see this basically this flagella. It's using, it's like a tail, or its movement is done by that. Okay, and then okay, paramecium use the here hair-like cellular organisms. Sorry, paramecium is this, right? Paramecium uses this cilia. Cilia is this cilia. Flagella is this, right? Flagella is just like a tail. Cilia is around. They have like many tails, so that is cilia. Cilia is for the paramecium. Flagella is for euglena. Okay. Then human body and basically this most of mammals, almost all are having like nice system that is basically the bones, muscles, and joints, all supporting different movements. It's not just for locomotion, rhythmic movements, and also birds are having wings. Earthworm, they do not have a special appendages, but they are using their whole body for the locomotion, right? But this cobra, like cobra is basically using, cobra is also having this skeleton as well as their muscles, kind of. Then they are using that, but you can see they are using their entire body for the locomotion. But here we have specified special things, especially these bones, muscles, and joints. Right? Invertebrates use muscle while vertebrates use both muscles and bones. Invertebrates කියලා කියන්නේ පිට කොන්දක් කොඳුනාරටියක් නැති කට්ටිය යාලා පේශි විතරක් පාවිච්චි කරනවා. එතකොට දැන් කෝබ්‍රා වුණත් එයා invertebrate the vertebrate the cobra. Hello, I hope you are listening. Sorry?
Vertebrate.
Yeah, cobra vertebrate. එයා තියෙනවා muscles, bones දෙකම තියෙනවා. එතකොට vertebrate කෙනෙක් විදියට අපි ගන්න. ඉතින් යාලා දෙකම use කරනවා, bones and muscles and also joints. එතකොට invertebrates ලා නම් muscles විතරයි. Invertebrate කවුද මෙතන ඉන්නේ invertebrates ලා? Earthworm, leech, snail, cobra. Who are the invertebrates?
Earthworm, leech, snail.
Earthworm, leech.
Leech, snail.
Yes, earthworm, leech, and snail. Snail is also snail. මේව එකක් තිබ්බට එයාට කට්ටක් තිබ්බට එයාට invertebrate කෙනෙක්. හරි. ඒ කට්ට අපි ගන්නෙ නැහැ බෝන් එකක් විදිහට shell for the protection. So it's also invertebrate. So there is in muscles. But cobra, snake, they are using their bones, muscles, both. So these bones and muscles basically more rigid movements, advanced movements, and they are strong. Right here, rigidity කියලා කියන්නේ කෙලින් ඉන්න සන්ධාරණය කෙලින් ඉන්න උදව් කරනවා. මොකද මේ bones කියන්නේ ගොඩක් high අය අපි අන්තිමටම දිරන්නේ මේ bones. අපි මරුණාම ඉස්සෙල්ලාම මේ පේශි මස් පේශි ඔක්කොම flesh ඔක්කොම දිරලා යනවා. අන්තිමටම දිරන්නේ bones. සෑහෙන කාලයක් තියෙනවා, and I think you have seen even as fossils. So this can be found even after like several thousands of years, because it remain sometimes body even remain frozen in the fossils due to certain environmental conditions. But basically bones are even more resistant to break down. So therefore it will be there for very long time. Okay, then so how this movement happen, how the muscle function happen? So this we need to study, right? So here actually very small setup. We are using this in the robotics, right? Elastic bands, and also here 2 elastic bands, and ball nail. Actually this is not, we are not strongly fixing this. This is to basically support the movement. And when we when this setup is created, so this is we are doing this in arm robots. Basically when you are using robot arms and all, but not this kind of thing. We are using motors and other elements, but this is very simple. These elastic bands, movements of this elastic band will move this part of here, this part of the. So this is very simple model which we can use to understand how the joint and bones work. This is like our hand, joints and bone works in this way. But the muscles, what's the duty of muscles? Muscles are acting like these elastic bands. The muscles are acting like elastic bands. So let's see a small video on this, and then we'll discuss the remaining part. I think, okay, I have to share the audio. Let me pause the recording for a while. Okay, let's see the video number 1. I'm using this to explain.
Forearm and upper arm bones. Both of these bones are joined at elbow. Upper arm bones are covered with biceps muscles and triceps muscles. Forearm bone is connected to upper arm muscles by a tissues called tendons. When we want to lift something with our arm, our brain sends the signal to biceps muscle to contract and triceps muscle to relax. When biceps contracts, its length decreases and bone attached to it get pulled. In this process, relaxation of triceps muscle provide extra length so that bone can easily move. Muscles apply pull force on bones by contraction, which results in movement.
Okay, it's very
This
simple
video was
thing,
sponsored by KenHub. More on them at the end of the video.
right? This is very simple video which showing how bicep tricep is basically assisting the movement of hand. Okay, this is TED Ed video. This TED Ed videos also kind of a very good videos. Then when you want to know about some scientific concept, this TED Ed videos are very important. So look at this also.
Each time you take a step, 200 muscles work in unison to lift your foot, propel it forward, and set it down. It's just one of the many thousands of tasks performed by the muscular system. This network of over 650 muscles covers the body and is the reason we can blink, smile, run, jump, and stand upright. It's even responsible for the heart's dependable thump. First, what exactly is the muscular system? It's made up of three main muscle types: skeletal muscle, which attaches via tendons to our bones; cardiac muscle, which is only found in the heart; and smooth muscle, which lines the blood vessels and certain organs like the intestine and uterus. All three types are made up of muscle cells, also known as fibers, bundled tightly together. These bundles receive signals from the nervous system that contract the fibers, which in turn generates force and motion. This produces almost all the movements we make. Some of the only parts of the body whose motions aren't governed by the muscular system are sperm cells, the hair-like cilia in our airways, and certain white blood cells. Muscle contraction can be split into three main types. The first two, shortening muscle fibers and lengthening them, generate opposing forces. So the biceps will shorten while the triceps will lengthen or relax, pulling up the arm and making it bend at the elbow. This allows us to, say, pick up a book, or if the muscle relationship is reversed, put it down. This complementary partnership exists throughout the muscular system. The third type of contraction creates a stabilizing force. In these cases, the muscle fibers don't change in length, but instead keep the muscles rigid. This allows us to grip a mug of coffee or lean against a wall. It also maintains our posture by holding us upright. Skeletal muscles form the bulk of the muscular system, make up about 30 to 40% of the body's weight, and generate most of its motion. Some muscles are familiar to us, like the pectorals and the biceps. Others may be less so, like the buccinator, a muscle that attaches your cheek to your teeth, or the body's tiniest skeletal muscle, a 1 millimeter long tissue fragment called the stapedius that's nestled deep inside the ear. Wherever they occur, skeletal muscles are connected to the somatic nervous system, which gives us almost complete control over their movements. This muscle group also contains two types of muscle fibers to refine our motions even further: slow twitch and fast twitch. Fast twitch fibers react instantly when triggered, but quickly use up their energy and tire out. Slow twitch fibers, on the other hand, are endurance cells. They react and use energy slowly so they can work for longer periods. A sprinter will accumulate more fast twitch muscles in her legs through continuous practice, enabling her to quickly, if briefly, pick up the pace. Whereas back muscles contain more slow twitch muscles to maintain your posture all day. Unlike the skeletal muscles, the body's cardiac and smooth muscles are managed by the autonomic nervous system, beyond our direct control. That makes your heart thump roughly 3 billion times over the course of your life, which supplies the body with blood and oxygen. Autonomic control also contracts and relaxes smooth muscle in a rhythmic cycle. That pumps blood through the smooth internal walls of blood vessels, enables the intestine to constrict and push food through the digestive system, and allows the uterus to contract when a person is giving birth. As muscles work, they also use energy and produce an important byproduct, heat. In fact, muscle provides about 85% of your warmth, which the heart and blood vessels then spread evenly across the body via the blood. Without that, we couldn't maintain the temperature necessary for our survival. The muscular system may be largely invisible to us, but it leaves its mark on almost everything we do, whether it's the blink of an eye or a race to the finish line. This video is made possible by our community on Patreon, and if you're curious about the human body, check out this playlist.
Okay, I have seen that you have done the homework. Good. I will review that. And one thing, like, shall I give this in the STEAM format, but will be little difficult for you, but give a try. You have learned about Scratch programming in grade 8 or 7, I guess, in ICT, Scratch programming. 8 or 7?
8, sir.
8, okay. So try to use Scratch programming to create a small animated video about these muscles and bones. Muscles, bones, and their movement. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes is enough. You can use your voice. You can use your voice to narrate. And if you really want to generate an attractive narration, so what you can do is you can use ChatGPT. You can give your normal narration. Okay, I want to tell this. You write in English, and then you can ask ChatGPT to convert it to an attractive narration, and you can read out that, and that can be added to Scratch. That's why I said this will be little difficult. You are integrating few subjects, ICT and science together, and come up, create a video like this to show the muscle movements. Create a video like this to show the muscle and bone movement. So while you're doing that, you will automatically learn this lesson. That is the thing. But these kind of activities are called STEAM pedagogical or STEAM learning activities. Actually, you do the work. You have a lot of works to do, and after that, you understand the lesson by doing that. Actually doing that, rather than write in a report, write in essay. Even tudes we are using normal traditional method, right? Even ICT is there, but we are using the traditional method, like name this, match this, fill this. These are basically traditional, but what the exercise that I have given, just give a try. Just give a try. Try to make interactive video about the human muscle movement in muscle and bone movements in human body. Okay, that is for the next week. You have a practical activity. So not this. You have to create that using Scratch. Okay, try to do that. So this is the same thing that we have seen, the biceps and triceps, and how this muscle movement happen. The tendon, and these are the bones. And tendon, radius bone. This is called the radial head part. And actually, I got to know a lot of things about this because I had accident in my right hand where this radial bone's head was fractured. Here it was fractured into small parts, very small parts, and doctors said that it cannot be repaired, and they said in order to make it smooth, they wanted to remove that part from my bone. That type of operation is called excision of radial head. This excision of radial head is the operation name, but it's kind of problematic because still today, after the operation, now it's 12 years. After 12 years, still I cannot properly lift. I cannot properly lift something. So this is basically, you can see the radial head is here. This radial head actually They suggested to put this plastic or something later, but again it needs operation, and sometimes the idea was here it was really fractured, and because of that they need to remove that. And here because it's a joint. When it is a joint, we cannot put nails and fix it. The reason is because joint need a flexible movement, but the other bone can be moved. Therefore, I can do small activities, but weightlifting, lighting, it's very difficult for this kind after this kind of operation. So that's why I got to know about this. Like time to time, this will be very useful. Even you are doing science or not, it doesn't matter. Knowing about the human body is very important thing. Okay, then we have learned about the muscle movements and how things are happening in the human body. So you will be, I hope you will be creating the stretch activity next day. And what about the plants? Okay, plants also show the movements, especially plants move towards light. We learned that the oxygen gibberellin and plants grow, it increase the height, the cell division, how it is happening, how cell division improve the growth, and how it bend a plant we learned in the last lesson. And here in this lesson, so what are the things that plant movements that, because in animals there are tissues, right? Tissues are present within the plant for purpose of mechanical support. Okay, you can see here 8.5 garden balsam plant, this one. Non-woody means it's not having that woody trunk. It's a flexible trunk. And sunny days, the plants get withered and the stem is bent down, because when it's more sunny, so it's automatically, it's like කියන්නේ අපි වතුර නැතිකොට වගේ හේ බාල යනවා වගේ කියලා ඉන්න ගහනවා පාත් වෙලා බෙන්ඩ් වෙලා යනවා, because it's more sunny. But it is because the reason is here lack of water supply. The rigidity is affected because it's not a woody trunk. Woody trunk can stay strong even without water for some time. ගහ මරුණාට පස්සේ තියෙන්නේ කියලා මේ අපි ඔය ජනෙල් දොරවල් වලට ගන්න, because it is a woody trunk. But if it is non-woody, it's erect and alive. It's when water is inside the plant, but when water is not there, it's basically lower. When water percentage is very low. So then the other one is the mango. That's a woody plant. The woody plant is basically giving rigidity. The wood trunk is giving the rigidity to the plants. Okay, the plant movement can be two types. That is tropic movements and nastic movements. So what is this nastic and tropic? Tropic movements are basically growth related. What we have discussed last week, growth related, and this bending these, because there is like a direct due to direct influence between the direction of the stimulus and the direction response. These tropic movements occur due to the basically it's happening due to that oxygen gibberellin like enzymes, as well as which is given. You have written that what are the external supplies given to the plant. Because of that, this trophic movements happen. Right, this can be towards or away from the stimulus. Positive tropism is basically towards the stimuli. Negative tropism is about the stimulus. So when light is not there, so there is a positive tropism. Positive, towards light it moves. Negative tropism is also there. Negative tropism is basically moving not toward, moving away. So if there's darkness, it's moving away. Other hand, so same thing can be, but not that. But there are like in some you know, the not plants actually, the plants, not this trunk one and bushes, but the creepers have this behavior, because creepers sometimes need a support from a trunk or some stick or something to move. Actually, it shows this negative tropism also. Okay, see here, positive tropism, positive geotropism. Its roots growing towards ground. Root is basically growing towards ground. That is positive geotropism. Negative geotropism is a stem. Stem is drawn in away from the ground. Most of the cases, right? Some cases stem is also grounded. But don't think about that, because potato, the sweet potato, all these things we have learned in different grades about this. Some stems are grounded, no? But normally stem draw away, to draw towards. That is, and positive photoprophism. Photo means light, right? Stem drawing towards the light, and positive hydroprophism is roots drawing towards the water. Roots is searching for water. Positive chemotrophism is basically a drought of the pollen along the tube towards the oval, right? So this is happening in basically sexual reproduction in plants. This happening, and positive trigmorphism, coiling of tendrils or passion fruit with the support. That is positive trigmorphism. That is what the creepers show. I said positive trigmorphism. So these are so what do you call okay, stem drawing to, that is given, right? Sorry, I want to ask that. Is it given? Photoprophism means it's because light. Hydro means because of water. Chemo means because of a chemical reaction. Geo means because of the land. Trigmo is basically kind of a trigger, right? A support kind of thing. Okay, so these are the tropisms, tropical movements, and this we have already studied, and this is basically you can see movement of a plant shoot negative geotrophic. Negative. Give here the geo. This is the soil, but it's moving negatively. Okay, what are the nastic movements? Nastic movements is kind of nastic. In mimosa plants, Nidhikumba, so nastic movements respond to the direction, does not depend the direction. It's not depending on that, but the movements happen, right? How? Basically here mimosa plant is reacting, so for light also it's reacting, but for touch also it is reacting. The touch reacting is mostly nastic. Why? Because irresponsive of if you touch it back or side or left or right, it moves as it is. No relationship of its movement to the no direct relationship its of movements direction to the trigger direction. Trigger එක දෙන පැත්ත සහ movement එක ඇති වෙන පැත්ත මත අනුව ඒක ඒ දෙක අතර සම්බන්ධයක් නැහැ. හැබැයි trigger එක සහ movement අතර සම්බන්ධයක් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි trigger එක එන දිශාව සහ movement එක වෙන දිශාව අතර සම්බන්ධයක් නැත්නම් තමයි nastic කියලා කියන්නේ. So you can see here legume plants, then structure called Pulvinus is located as a swelling at base of the petiole or the leaf. It contains parenchyma muscles which move according to the change of trigger pressure. So what is this? So I think you know about this plant already. We have discussed in some here this wait. See this. Okay. So this is basically in what do you call this? In your area, there are some plants. What's the name? I cannot remember in English. Poodalu කියලා කියන්නේ. ඒකෙත් තියෙන අර මේව එක ප්‍රෙෂර් එකට රිලීස් මේ වෙනවා නේද? ප්‍රෙෂර් කරපැටි පුපුරලා සීඩ්ස් ටික යන්නේ වටේට තියෙනවා නේද ඔයාලගේ පැතිවල?
Yes.
Okay, rubber වලත් තියෙනවා. ඒ වගේ මොකක්ද ඒකට කියන්නේ? I cannot remember that not now. What's the plant name? I forgot it. I forgot it. Sorry. Okay. Here, this basically when pressure is given, you can see this when especially when these seeds are dry. When pressure is given, it will basically release these seeds. And not just in these and different plants, you can see this kind of thing here. And not just in these, there are some other plants. Katurumurunga or tamarind is basically when dark situation, it shows this movement. It's not towards light, it's not again towards, or it's not a negative, it's not positive, it's kind of nastic movement. And haptonastic movement, sleeping or sinking of this mimosa plant, we call haptonastic. Cis monastic is basically so exhibiting sleeping movement during a shock. That is also you can see in the mimosa plant. And photonastic because of the light, blooming flowers with the sunrise. These are some nastic movements. Okay, see what are the other plants which show this nastic movement other than this. So what is the movement of rubber seed, rubber plant? So what are there are some other like we have discussed about these plants in the nitrogen rare areas. These plants are not herbivorous. There's herbivorous also, but mostly some carnivorous plants are there. So how this carnivorous plant movement happen? Is it what kind of movement? Is it nasty or towards a certain direction, or direction independent? So you have to list these movements. This is another thing, second exercise. This you can write down in the book, that doesn't matter. But the previous one, try to do that as a STEAM activity. Okay, so you can see here pollinus. Pollinus is basically at the leaflet. Leaflet means a leaf. Patra නෙමෙයි patrika. මේක අපි තනි පත්‍රයක් කියලා කියන එක බෙදිලා තියෙන ඉඳ අපි leaflets කියලා කියනවා. Leaf නෙමෙයි leaflets. ඒතර ඒකේ petiole එක නෙමෙයි නැට්ට ළඟ තමයි මේකේ තියෙන්නේ. Pollinus located in each leaflet petiole based on this movement. Actually also present in the plant showing sleeping movements. එයාලා තමයි ටක් ගාලා මෙයාව අකුල්ලා දාන්නේ. ඇකිලිලා යන්නේ pollinus එකකින්. Right, this is in basically tamarind, nelly, and this light sensitive plants as well as all and mimosa plant you can see. Okay, then right, there is another thing. This is for your knowledge. Tactic movements. Tactic movements. We have learned about this nastic movements, and we have learned about this tropic movement, basically tropic movements and nastic movement, and there's something called tactic movement also here. In addition to the tropic movement, nastic movement, there's type of movement called tactic, which is related to the direction of stimulus. In tactic movement, the whole organism respond to the stimulus, like Chlamydomonas, right? Algae. So the whole body is moved. So we call tactic movement. That is also respond towards the direction, but it is tactic because the whole body or whole organism is responding. Entire body is responding. Okay, there's an additional thing, but I don't know why this is added to your this lesson. This is basically not related to movement. Yes, it's related to movement because these plants can, because they cannot locomote like animals. That's the point, right? That's why I was thinking why this institute conversation. Yes, that is also related to movement. I misunderstood. Okay, because animals depend on the condition. Animals can move from place to place. If they want resources, let's say not enough food, not enough water, they can go. I was thinking about this when I was traveling recently in Nepal, because a lot of roads here are damaged, highly damaged. Not a simple damage. It's highly damaged due to the geographical situation of the country. Because I think this country is in a tectonic plate. You know tectonic plates, right? Do you?
Yes, sir.
What are the tectonic plates? Yes, in planet Earth is basically, it's not a single plate. Right? Planet Earth is not, the crust is not a single plate. It is made of several different plates, and these plates are floating. And while floating, they show small movements. Some are basically some kind of slight movements. Some are hitting against. Likewise, there are different movements. Those are called tectonic plate movements, and that is why earthquakes and all happen. When I was traveling here, I saw a lot of these results of these tectonic plate movements. Earth plates. I think there is a one protein Nepal, mostly. Should be, because I can see the result of these. Yes, here you can see there's a line. Okay. Okay, these are the plates. And where's India? Oh. Okay, here. Here there's a plate. You can see here there's a plate. Because of that, Indonesia get a lot of earthquakes and all. But it's mostly in the ocean. But here, this is in the land, right? This is in the land. And we are in the middle, so we are safe. But this side, you can see there's a plate. And this affects a lot, I guess. This has affected. Even now, there are not that movements. It has affected. Almost all these mountains are falling. When they made a road, the mountain will fall after a certain time. It's a very challenging thing. And you can see, if I show you this, this is also related to some lesson. Therefore, I will show, because I'm going to finish this. So in this mountain, basically the roads are like this, right? Almost all. Okay, it's like this. These mountains, always they're subjected to fall like this. All are stones. All are stones. It's like this. Always we can see in any road, we can see a backhoe removing these particles which are fallen. Because even in riverside, you can see it's like this. Everywhere the stone kind of situation is there. Everywhere stone, and all are falling like this. All are falling, right? You can see all are falling. It's like this. Almost all the roads. I thought it's one or two roads. No, everywhere. Roads like this is very scary sometimes. But okay. Then I feel really sorry about these plants, because the plants are always, these plants are covered by the dust. In the roadside, the plants are covered by dust. No solution, because if it is animal, it can go and have a wash. But when these plants are covered by dust, always with this, what will happen? Their growth has slowed down, because it cannot breathe, it cannot produce food. Likewise, I feel really sorry about these plants. It related to this, that's why I should. Okay, the plants show movement, but they cannot locomote. That's a problem. So how it can avoid external hazard? Then, because it cannot. So therefore, we need to do something that is called in situ conservation. ඉන්න තැන ඉඳලා අපි ඉන්න ස්ථානේ ඒවා ආරක්ෂා කරන්න ඕනේ. එහෙනම් තමයි මේ රක්ෂිත වනාන්තර ඒ වගේ දේවල් හදන්නේ. Mainly for plants and also for animals. So plants grow in the habitat where all necessary external factors needed to grow are present. Hence, plants can get destroyed in habitat due to external hazard. Something happened, so it can be destroyed easily. Therefore, we have to preserve them and conserve them in their own habitat. That is called in situ conservation, conserving in its own habitat. Right? Strictly reserved. There is something called red. So why I am forgetting all this? Red book? Red book? Just red book? Red data book, sorry. Red data book. I used to forget these things. Okay, there's something called red data book. In this red data book, not just the plants, endangered animals, plants, all are listed in this book. So basically, that's why in the Sri Lanka also there was argument about certain plant which was in the highway, and that's kind of endangered or risky, like very rare plant. And it's even in the red data book. People will think red data book. What is red data book? Do you know this red data book?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is called IUCN, Red List, International Union Conservation of Nature. Okay, so what is inside that, and basically what kind of things need conservation? Okay, so then this conservation is very sorry, not conservation. Sorry, conservation is very essential thing because we need to preserve and conserve these plants in their soil, and that is here. Okay, as a summary, we have learned about animal movement, plant movement, their rigidity, muscles, how they work, and how plants showing tropic, tractic, and also nastic movements we have learned. And I gave you a small exercise to STEAM activity to do this muscle related thing, and also do a small search about these plants like these some plants, because of the nitrogen issue, they are depending some animals, so they are we call carnivorous plants. So how their movements, so what kind of movement they show, please look into that. And how creepers move, what kind of movement that show. Basically just categorize the movements of the plants to tactic, nastic, and trophic. So that is one activity. We have 2 activities in this lesson. Please finish that, and also the questions. Next day we can finish the next lesson, that is evolutionary process or origin of the earth and how it happened. This is one of the most interesting lessons because we will learn about our history. Okay, that is for the next day. And I think with that we will be finishing our, yes, we will be finishing our book part 1. Then after next week we can move to book part 2. I will announce the class once I'm back to Sri Lanka. I will tell you the extra time for this class to finish these lessons. Okay, then good night.
Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.
Bye.